This is July 15th, and what I'm looking at today is from Chapter 2 of the Tao Ching. Again, reading from my own translation that's contained in a little book called A Path and a Practice. Chapter 2 is titled Opposites. Beauty cannot exist without ugliness. Virtue cannot exist without vice. Living, we know death. Struggling, we know ease. Rising high, we know the depths. Being quiet, we understand noise. Everything gives rise to its opposite. Therefore, we work without conscious effort and teach without agenda. We enjoy everything and possess nothing. Our accomplishments do not emerge from our ego, so we do not cling to them. Thus, they benefit all things. This is one of the most important concepts in the Tao, the idea that life, the unity of life, is composed of this dance of coming and going, of yin and yang. You all know the classic logo, the yin-yang symbol. It's called the Tai Chi, or the intertwined teardrops of light and dark, or sometimes intertwined fish of light and dark, are doing their dance in this constant circle of the light building up to a certain point and then giving way to the dark, which builds to a certain point and gives way to the light. And the whole of the cosmos depends on this particular dance. The very structure of the cosmos, in an oversimplification, the proton and the electron within the atom represent the dance of what they call positive and negative, of complementary energies. In fact, energy itself can't exist without this yin and yang, because energy is the flow between yin and yang. And without yin and yang, there can be no flow, there can be no movement. And the cosmos is movement. And sometimes it moves too fast for us. Right now, the movement has this exponential feel to it that what happened yesterday doesn't have much bearing on what might happen today. Time is moving so fast, and the essential changeableness of the universe has become extremely apparent to us, uncomfortably apparent. The question then I face is, how do I live my life in the midst of this constant change? It was yin today, it might be yang tomorrow. It was here today and gone tomorrow. It was up today and down tomorrow. What am I to do? The advice is, since everything gives rise to its opposite, since what goes up must come down, therefore we work without conscious effort and teach without agenda. The effortful nature of our life comes from our resistance to the yin and the yang, from the mistaken illusory belief that we must crank the wheel of the light and the productivity until it gets to its stop, and then we must put on the brakes so it can't ever diminish. So we have this constant acceleration of time and effort based on a completely erroneous illusion of the way life works. You know what it feels like. It's debilitating, it's de-energizing, it's exhausting. Being able to work without conscious effort means that I accept this coming and this going, and I let my work, in a sense, flow with it. My tendency, built into me after decades of training, is to wake up in the morning and assume that this must be a productive day. I'll do this, and I'll do this, and I'll do this. And pretty much from morning to night, I'll see to it that I'm accomplishing something, that I'm doing something that has a purpose and a meaning. And that when I get to the end of the day, exhausted, I can look back and say, I did this and this and this and this and this. Well, you know, there's a certain kind of satisfaction in that, but it's not natural. The natural quality of the day is a sense of creativity arises and I express it. And then it recedes and I go to rest. A sense of vigor comes up and I produce. And then it recedes and again I rest. I'm alert and mindful, and I think to myself, I'm going to be alert and mindful all day. Yeah, right. And that alert and mindfulness recedes. It stops. It ebbs back out. Yet my tendency is to crank it back up. I got to be mindful. I got to be alert. Here, let's crank some caffeine in. Let's crank some uppers in. Let's do whatever, because I can't take a nap. That's lazy. You can't. It's an 8 to 5 at the very least society, and all of that 8 to 5 has to be kind of hyper vigilant. Well, that's kind of been knocked out from under us now, hasn't it? Now what? The yin and the yang has shown us a truth. The yang, or productivity, achievement, crank it up of our society, has reached a point, and the Tao, in its natural balance, has said, oops, and in a very short time has dropped the bottom out from under us. Much of our frantic effort is to crank it back up again, because that's what we have to do. I mean, the bottom's dropped out, but we can't let that happen, so let's crank it back up. Let's not do that, okay? Let's take a moment. Do we want to go back to normal? Well, that's easy for you to say, Bill. You're semi-retired. You can take a nap if you want to. Well, when did it happen that all of us gave up the opportunity for naps and rest and natural flow of existence? When did that happen? Why do we do that? The beauty of yin and yang is that we've been given a reset button. Do we want to go back to the beginning? Do we want to go back to the way it was? Society, culture has crumbled. It's not going to go back to the way it was. The pieces are going to lay around us. Do we want to try to put them back into Humpty Dumpty again? Do you want to put it back into the life you had before? Do we? Do we want to go back to the same health care structures, to the same economic systems, to the same educational systems, to the same cookie cutter spirituality? What do we want? Yeah, this yin yang, this rising and falling and coming and going, has given us the chance to understand that there's a creative, natural quality to our lives that produces without effort and creates without clinging to anything. So I'm hoping to be able to make a little video like this and put it up and then forget it. That was yesterday. I hope it's helpful. But it's something that's arising just out of who I am and what I'm doing right at the moment. I'm not trying to create these videos. I'm only sharing with you what is coming to me as I work my way through the Tao Te Ching. And what's coming to me right now is that we've been given a marvelous opportunity to rest and decide what we really want to do, and not be fooled by those who would like us to go back to the way it used to be. Do you really want that? Do you want to put your children in school where their very lives might be at risk? Just so that you can get a break? Are we ready to sacrifice children and elders on the altar of economics and convenience and the desire to be normal? I got to tell you, looking back, normal isn't a very pretty picture. Never has been. So let's let that rising and now falling give us a space. What's next? Don't look for it too fast. Take some time. You've been given time. I think. I don't know what your actual situation is. But it seems, as a culture, we've been given some time to reflect. And my observation is that we're not using it very well. We're trying to push the river. We're trying to crank the wheel back up when the wheel itself has said, nope, we're going this way now. Balance is going to be restored, and this is all going to go down this way. So, what's going to last? Something here, something inside of us. The real us. So it's real hot here in Mount Shasta today. I'm not gonna work outside, which is what I thought I'd do this morning. Yep, I'm gonna go out there, by golly, I'm gonna work in the flower garden, and I'm gonna move rocks, and I'm gonna dig dirt, and well, no, I'm not. Maybe I'll write something. Maybe not. Maybe I won't say anything today. And then all of a sudden, yeah, I think I will. Here's to you. Stay safe. Wear your masks. Don't let anybody tell you how to stay safe or not to. Careful there. That's a sentiment that I hear from some guys around here in Mount Shasta. Nobody going to tell me to wear a mask. No. You know darn well you need to wear a mask. And you know darn well that you need not to go into any businesses that don't require masks. You know that darn well. So don't let the gestalt of our attempts to get back to normal screw with your innate intelligence and common sense and desire to do good. Yeah, wear your mask. Take care of yourself. Keep your family safe. Keep your friends safe. Keep yourself safe. Because I want to see you tomorrow or whenever I come back here. Bless us all.